Okay, so I'm going to tell you a very interesting shaila that someone asked me Friday afternoon. A good friend of mine called me and he's told me that he's on his way to Lakewood to a family bar mitzvah, and he was told that they're not going to start the meal until something like 10 o'clock. Why is that? Because the bar mitzvah boy is not going to become bar mitzvah until 10 o'clock, so they're going to wait and before making kiddush. So I told him, this doesn't sound so straight with me. And it's a long sugya based on the Mordechai and many Rishonim. If a katan, if he makes kiddush early, is it moitzi his chiyuv kiddush later on when it triggers later on? And when exactly does a chiyuv come? Is it just by the fact, is it based on the exact calculation of the seconds of when he was born? But I told him it sounds like a big chiddush. First I thought they were waiting for the katan, meaning the bar mitzvah boy, to make kiddush for everyone else, so they wanted to make sure he's a bar chiyuva. But really, you don't have to do that. You just there's a lot of svaras. Not only that, it's all dependent on that you're saying kiddush is a chiyuv doraisa. Kivego holds that if you say good Shabbos, it takes over the doraisa already. If you daven in shul, so there's many cheshbonos. I said it sounds a little bit of a chiddush to me that you're going to have the bar mitzvah boy delay everyone else. In order that he should have his hidul mitzvah of kiddush. I said, doesn't sit so great with me. And then I texted my Rebbe, and my Rebbe said, very similar, he said that the lashon was, Einay nachon, and a really bad way to bring a child into all mitzvahs by training him to make a chumrah on the expense of everyone else. Afterwards, of course, I told my friend, listen, you have to be melamed zchus, there's always a tzad zchus. Fact is that it's the family, and the families were ready. You were told that this is what the bar mitzvah, when the bar mitzvah is taking place, and adarabba, there's diktuk mitzvahs, and look how beautiful. I told him you should zicha b'melamed zchus because you're not changing anything. But then my wife had a chap. She said the best way would have been is that everyone would have sat down on time, and then 10 o'clock, the bar mitzvah boy would have gotten up and made kid, and he would have had to wait until then. And forget, you would have trained him to realize what it means to not be machmir on the expense of everyone else. I like my wife's psak. On Shabbos, it hit me even more. I said, this is the 9 days. The yesod of the 9 days is to work on sensitivity to other people. The ben adam lechaveiroi. So mele diktuk mitzvahs, it could be. Maybe there's a tzad. But the 9 days, to start the bar mitzvah boy off with the 9 days, and not being sensitive to everyone else, that was taka a surprise to me. And I think that's really what the 9 days is about, is to focus as much as we can on sensitivity for others. And someone told me a beautiful ma'isa from Rabbi Moshe Feinstein, Zichrono Livracha. I think the person that this took place with was someone by the name of, I think it was Miki Sorotskin. His father was nifta when he was young, and then I think something like mamisha, a week before he was about to get married, his mother was nifter, and he was be'avelus. There's a whole shayla about his ufruf, and many of the shaylas about his wedding, but one of the big shaylas that went to Rabbi Moshe Feinstein was about his ufruf, and in fact he said that Moshe held that he should go, have the aliyah, but not stay by the kiddush. But then, Moshe Feinstein, listen to this amazing zach. Moshe calls him up and says, this is Mr. Feinstein, I want to speak to Rabbi Sorotskin. Rabbi Sorotskin was 23 years old, getting married. He said, I was thinking, is that the minhag in America is that the bacha sends flowers to the kala. Now, by an avel, there's a problem. That you're not allowed to send presents, you're not supposed to get presents, you don't send presents to others. So how are you going to be able to send flowers to your kala? But then I realized that if you don't send flowers to your kala, and her friends come over and don't see kala, there's going to be a p'giya in the kala. For a p'giya in the kala, then you mechuyev to send her flowers. So where Gadol thinks. So that's a sensitivity and example. I thought it was such a beautiful ma'aseh.